It was week 3 of the Florida legislative session, and the onslaught on Florida's working families kicked into high gear. The House State Affairs Committee took up HB 1405, their attempt to radically alter the retirement system for over 1.3 million public employees and retirees. The House measure was altered somewhat from last week when it mirrored the governor's proposal, but it still packs a real punch for our teachers, firefighters, and police officers and other public sector workers. The bill is aimed at balancing the state budget by imposing a new 3% tax on public workers who, according to the state's own data, are some of the lowest paid in the country. Over 30 workers spoke in opposition, while a few business lobbyists from the Florida Chamber of Commerce spoke in favor.
My yearly salary is $15,000 a year. A basic para makes $12,000. If you take 3% of our pay, our food's going up, electric's going up, rent's going up, but the pay is not, and you want to take more, please vote against this bill.
We're talking about balancing the budget by raising taxes on the people who can least afford to pay the tax increase.
By the time this bill is implemented, there's going to be a mass exodus of the older state workers. We've been denigrated, put down so much, and then now actually, call it what you will, we think it's like a tax. We haven't had a raise in 6 years. We're going to watch money go away from us.
All the other professions in this state that make this a great state that don't get recognized. We're lucky. You know, it's easy to say firefighters, whoa. But you know what? It's like, I went to shave this morning, I turned the faucet open, water came out. Somebody did that. You know who did that? A state worker or a county worker. Okay? Garbage, empty. Somebody did that.
After 3 hours of emotional testimony, the measure passed with a 13-6 party line vote. There was a bright spot, however, as a large group gathered at the Capitol to celebrate the one-year anniversary of the passage of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. This vital health care reform has already stopped health insurance companies from discriminating against people for pre-existing conditions, is helping young people entering the workforce by allowing them to stay on their parents' policies, and reducing drug prices for critical medicines. There were celebrations in 10 cities across the state of Florida. The week ended on a tragic note, however, as the House of Representatives convened a somewhat rare Friday morning session to rush through HB 1021, the worker gag bill. Under the bill, public employers will be barred from processing workers' voluntary union dues deductions, and onerous new regulations will be placed on unions, making it very difficult for them to spend their resources on politics and legislative advocacy. The House spent just 2 hours under a special restricted debate rule. Republicans actually claimed that they were pushing the bill to help union members, while Democrats pointed out that this was nothing but political payback for one of the few groups standing up to the new supermajority in Tallahassee.
It seems that the majority party wants to break the backs of the unions. It feels like everyone woke up one day and decided the unions are our enemies, the unions are a bunch of leeches, and they need to be eliminated from the system.
It's about silencing the voices of unions and union members who have dissented with policies that have been made by this body.
Today, we're hurting a number of people. It's labor and employment, a bill that strips away the working person's voice, arguably steps in the way of free speech from the very people that are the engine that keeps Florida's economy running.
The bill passed with a 73-40 vote. The measure did have bipartisan opposition. A setback to be sure, but it ain't over yet. Check back next week for another video update. Solidarity.